Hello Librans, welcome to or welcome back to Timsy Naked Tarot. If you are a regular viewer, I am sorry that I have been absent for a while. I have had a busy, hectic last few months. Yeah, working hard. But yeah, I've got some time, so we're doing a tarot read for you. We are doing a prepping tarot read for you. And by the terms prepping, all I mean is you're getting ready for something that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so you could be prepping to move out of the family home. You might be prepping to get a new car. You could be prepping for some end of the world scenario. It doesn't really matter. The energies will affect you maybe all in slightly different ways, but it's the main energies which are coming in for it. Okay, you had the Two of Pentacles come out for your sign in the All Signs overview I done for this particular read, and yeah, that was an energy of, well, juggling things around. Maybe what you were prepping for, you're not prepping for anymore. Maybe you were prepping to buy a car, but something else has happened and now you're prepping to move out of the home. Yeah, it's nothing I say in a tarot read is just said at a whim. There's always some sort of link to it. Okay, so we have got a much younger fire sign and a Queen of Diamonds. The Queen of Diamonds, I believe, is, I don't know, I can't remember. It's an earth sign, I can tell you that much. It's a Taurus. Okay, so it could be it's a younger Taurus. Okay, and if the fire sign element might not be it, it might be two people involved in this. Maybe you have a younger fire sign as a child, and maybe the Taurus is your spouse. I don't know, but there is this juggling around. Maybe you're juggling your prepping around them. Okay, so let's have a little look see at the bottom of the deck to back up our Two of Pentacles. We've got the Hermit in reverse. That's an energy of like coming out of isolation, being a little bit more social, perhaps. Maybe you've been prepping in the background and you're now trying to incorporate the family, perhaps. Something like that. And we have also got well, also it's coming, yeah, it's you're not being isolated as much. The fact that the Hermit was in reverse. We've also got the Three of Spears in reverse, and that kind of sort of says the same sort of thing. The three of Spears, the Three of Spears, which were the wands in a traditional deck, is an energy of like waiting for the right moment, waiting for your ships to come in, waiting for the right opportunity. The Three of Spears in reverse would be kind of saying, well, perhaps the opportunity is now, perhaps the right moment is now. Wouldn't surprise me if we see the Seven of Pentacles in this read somewhere. Okay, so let's do the energies. The way we'll do the energies is just there. That is what you are prepping for in general, which is the King of Cups in reverse. We got here the Four of Swords in the upright, which is how your preps are going. We've got how your, in this particular case, people, or possibly one person, is connected, and that is the Five of Swords. And we have got the Five of Coins coming out in reverse for the potential outcome for you. From the bottom of the deck, we have got, what have we got? The Seven of Swords. I thought that was the Seven of Pentacles for a second. The Seven of Swords. But the Seven of Swords is in reverse. Now, the Seven of Swords can be a combination of energies. It can be changing your tactics, perhaps changing around what you're actually getting ready for. It could be that, but it's in reverse, and it's kind of saying, well, you don't really have to. But it could also be about lying, deception, and the like. And the fact that it's in reverse is maybe you don't have to lie anymore. Maybe you don't have to deceive anymore. Maybe you can tell them the truth. Okay, maybe these are two of your children and they're both quite young, but then they now both get into the age of understanding why you are prepping and what you are prepping for, and that is maybe this whole read, you're coming clean to them with it. Okay, so what are you prepping for? The King of Cups in reverse. Okay, the King of Cups in the upright position is an energy of indecision about love and emotions. I feel with the fact that we got the King of Cups in reverse, it's when that indecision that suddenly becomes a decision. Okay, so for instance, maybe you weren't sure. Remember, we got the Two of Pentacles involved in this. You weren't sure if you should be like preparing to buy a car, saving up the money to buy a car, or saving up the money to buy a bigger, better house for the family. Okay, and you're indecisive about that, but you've been preparing for that moment. Maybe it's a family member who's been indecisive about that, but you've been preparing for the moment that they make the decision. Now, on a larger, sort of more social scale, this could be you've been watching society around you slowly unraveling, and people are in two minds about what actions they take. I mean, over here in England, we have got the whole farmer issue of the Labour government trying to rob them blind and literally grave rob them. We have got immigration issues, and we have groups of people who are up in protest about that. And you can kind of see all that happening. We can all see that happening. And you're preparing for when the people start to commit solidly to their way of actions. So yes, people are protesting about illegal immigrants and immigration in our country at the moment, but they're not really committed to the protest. You may be preparing for when that commitment turns ugly, when they do decide that it's time to start taking more physical, permanent action on these things. So that's what I feel that King of Cups is about. We have got the Six of Swords in reverse. We have got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. We have got the King of Wands in the upright. And we have got the Ace of Wands in reverse. So, yeah, it's the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is going to calmer waters. Yeah, going to a safe haven, so to speak. In some terms, it's like jacking it all in and doing that. Yeah, leaving everything behind and moving forward onto hopefully something new and something good. This is in reverse. So, and it's what you're preparing for. So you're preparing for turbulent times, one way or another. Maybe it's one of your children are saving up to get the car, okay, and you're preparing for when they have that car and they are out late at night and you're worrying about that. When they come home and there's a huge dent in the car and you're worrying about, well, what have they hit, things like that. Okay, so you're preparing for when the trouble actually starts. The Ten of Pentacles is talking about the fact that Ivy, you don't feel like you're ready. You don't feel like you've completed yet. You feel like maybe perhaps you've prepared for the wrong reasons, the wrong way. The other thing, the Ten of Pentacles is an abundance, okay? But the fact that it's in reverse means it's in a negative form. So maybe you're preparing for an abundance of negativeness, not necessarily from you. Maybe you're trying to keep things all positive and bang on, but obviously the negativeness of other people, and when that negativeness spills out and there's a lot of it, it starts to ripple through the energies of society in a big style. With the King of Wands, this is you're preparing to take a risk. It's kind of like the entrepreneur energy of the King of Wands I'm feeling off this. You're preparing to take a risk. You're preparing to put your money where your mouth is, and maybe you're preparing to buy some bigger, more permanent preps. Maybe that's why you could be incorporating the family into it now. Yes, you've been sort of doing the general prep, which they don't really notice. You've been stocking the pantry, building up a food supply, building up a water supply, which they don't really see. You do the shopping and it's like, oh yeah, mum, dad's gone overboard with buying the baked beans today. Why do we need 10 kilos of rice? Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, they're not really paying that much attention to it. But when you start getting in the water purifiers, the gas masks, the solar powered backup systems, that's when the questions start getting asked. Why are you buying this? Why are you wasting your money on this? Okay, And that's why the Seven of Swords is in reverse. Maybe it's time to start telling them that, well, sooner or later, I feel that all this trouble with the immigration is going to turn into some sort of armed conflict. Okay, obviously, paint the picture for however it is in your country, whatever sort of issues they are in your country, or whatever you're preparing for in this situation which you're juggling around. With the Ace of Wands in reverse as well, this is something you're passionate about, but it's something you hope will never actually come about. Okay, the reason I say it is a big hope card from this deck, because this is a blown up version of a part of the star card. Okay, now the star is, in this particular case, it's a tree and all that. And the star is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes from this deck. But in the bottom left-hand corner of that star card is this image, okay, at the base of the tree. So this is, you're passionate about your hopes and your dreams and your wishes, but you really hope you never have to actually implement anything you're actually passionate about. So you're passionate about whatever you're prepping for, but you really hope that you never have to use the preps you have put on one side for this. Okay, crossing this, we have got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. From this deck, the Two of Pentacles in reverse looks pretty much the same either way up. It looks like it's in an upright. Doesn't matter which way round you go with it. Yeah, we have an upside down person and a right way up person. In this particular case, it is just the driving energies of not sureness. Yeah, I'm not sure if the red's going to win out in this colour mix, or the orange is going to win out in this colour mix, whatever the red and the orange is for you. Chances are, either way round, yeah, you're going to get something in between. Sometimes when I get the Two of Swords, I will say it's their truth and your truth, okay, and somewhere in between is the truth. In this particular case, whatever you're getting ready for, whatever you're preparing yourself for, it's not going to pan out quite like that. It's going to pan out as something in the middle. Okay, maybe you're preparing yourself because you're thinking that with all this protesting about immigration, there's going to be riots and armed conflict between the authorities and the people, and that's what you're preparing for. But the bit in the middle is the conflict happens, but it's from a different area. It's Russia launches war against us and invades our country. It's the same sort of energy. It's the same in like conflict, armed conflict energy, but it's coming from a totally different area you didn't see coming. Okay, you're aware of the war in Russia and or the war in Ukraine and what's going on. You're aware of the protests in England, but you're not seeing the fact that the two of them is going to make a volatile mix, which is going to create something else totally different. Okay, so let's have a little look-see at the Four of Swords. So this is, how is your preps going? Well, I don't know how well you know or watch the Game of Thrones series, or if you've read the books or anything, but that is Jon Snow laying on there, and that is a red priestess. Actually, it's not. I'm not entirely sure what that is particularly, because that's one of the new gods. Okay, and the guy is laying it in rest. He's dead in this particular card because he's got the little stones on his eyes, and that's what they do in the Game of Thrones. Okay, this is all about healing. It's all about resting. It's all about relaxation and recouping, because it's the Four of Swords. So that's how your preps are going. Your preps put your mind at ease. Your preps help heal you. Your preps are good for you. But there's this underlying thing about the death there and the ceremony of death, and it's possibly you may be preparing for when you go. I've said various different things what you're preparing for. Maybe you're preparing to buy a car and move house. Perhaps you're preparing for civil conflict within your country. Perhaps you're preparing for a massive tsunami to wipe out your island you live on. You could be preparing for your own departure from this planet, for your children and the like, or your family. So we've got the King of Swords, we have got the Nine of Wands, both in the upright. We got the Two of Pentacles again. It's the driving force of why you are prepping. And we got Temperance in reverse. The Two of Pentacles is in reverse as well, just in case you're watching or listening but not watching. Okay, and so we have got this healing, recouping, general good energies from the Four of Swords of how your preps are going. So your preps are going well. The things you're putting into place are going well. They're the right things to be doing, etc., etc. But I've also got this undercurrent of something to do with death. Your preps will come into their own power, perhaps after you've left them. Okay, and maybe you have got news that that's going to happen, because the King of Swords is a card of taking action on the truth. And funny, I talked about the Two of Swords and their truth and your truth, and somewhere in the middle is the truth, and then the King of Swords come out taking action on the truth. It might not be the whole truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth, but it's the truth you're willing to let everyone see you're taking action on. With the the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands is all about putting up your defenses, fighting till the death, so to speak. It's the wounded warrior card. Now, sometimes it's implying that you've got to the point where you just can't fight anymore and you're going to give up and throw the towel in. Other times you're still going for it. And this is, you're still going for it. And again, I use the terms fighting to the death. You're going to, whatever it is, yeah, if you're preparing for someone's departure, your departure, yeah, you're going to keep on going. You're going to keep fighting it. You're going to keep taking action against it with that King of Swords. And that is an awesome King of Swords to show you what it actually means. There's sprays of blood all around him. Yes, it could be leaves falling in autumn time, perhaps. You've got a village in the background. What he's out actually protecting, okay? Life, community, loved ones. He's out there, he's fighting to save all them. But the chances are he knows he's going to die. He knows he's outnumbered. He knows his ticket's been punched, but he's going to the bitter end with it. The Two of Pentacles in reverse again is talking about the exact same energies it was when it was in the crossing card. You're fighting because you're not entirely sure what the outcome is going to be. Yeah, you hear the stories. People get diagnosed with cancer and they get told they got 6 months to live. But that's with their current lifestyle. Lots of people have diabetes because of their current lifestyle. Now, if you can catch that diabetes early enough and change your lifestyle, your chances are that it's either in a manageable, lesser form of diabetes, or you skip it totally and you avoid it. It's the same sort of energy here. You could be diagnosed with cancer and you decide, I'm jacking it all in. I'm quitting that high-powered stock market job, which gives me all that stress and all that nastiness in life, the bitterness, the harshness, the worry and everything else. And I'm going to just move off into the country somewhere and live out my last 6 months with my family. By doing that lifestyle change, you've extracted a huge chunk of stress out of your life and then injected this huge cozy living element back in to replace it, and you survive for like 2, 3, 8 years, and maybe the cancer goes into remission, because the cancer was being caused by your lifestyle, not necessarily an illness, so to speak. And obviously I'm no medic, I'm no physician. I'm my first aid knowledge and medical knowledge, it literally stops at TV programs and general first aid. But you hear the stories of it happening, and this could be you. You're not sure how and when, but you know you will. That's a given. We all know we're going to die eventually, and you want to have all this set in place before then. We got Temperance coming out right at the end here, and the Temperance card in reverse is kind of saying it's I can't hold back anymore. I can't keep waiting. I got to do this now. Okay, and in the terms of your preps getting ready, it is either, how are your preps going? I should say, not getting ready. It's maybe you've been thinking about it for a long time, and it's now I've got to make the move. That Three of Wands in reverse. I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right opportunity. I'm waiting for my boats to come in, and it's now saying, I can't wait. I've had the news. I've been informed. It's going to happen. Maybe you were informed by a dream, and maybe not some sort of illness. Maybe it is a conflict. Maybe it's an asteroid. Maybe it's whatever. But you've been informed somehow, spiritually, physically, mentally, by someone else telling you their dreams, and it's like echoing something you've always felt. Whatever it is, it's a big major arcana coming out there. It's something kind of like universally driven. Okay, and so that's what's kind of it's like, I got to do this now because I don't know if I have time to do it in the future. Okay, and there we got Judgment coming out, and from this deck, Judgment is all about Ragnarok. Okay, this is Ragnarok. It's interpreting the start of it, and Ragnarok is the Vikings' end of the world scenario. Okay, just like we have, I say we, I'm not Christian, so it's not me. Okay, but just as lots of different religions have their own end of the world scenario for their religion. You have the I can't think what it's called, the rapture, and the 7 years of Satan coming back, and then the Antichrist, being Satan and Christ, duking it out at the end of those 7 years. And according to the Bible, all Antichrist's followers are going to be thrown into a lake of brimstone. Yeah, all that malarkey. That's the Christian one. Ragnarok one is literally the Vikings version of the end of the world. But all these end of the world scenarios in all these religions, it's not the end. It's the end of the chapter. Okay, and a new beginning comes from this. In Ragnarok, the old gods die, but new gods replace them. Okay, rise up out of the masses and replace them. And in tarot terms, the Judgment is a second chance. It's getting another bite of the cherry, if you will. You've maybe started this before on a small scale and then sort of petered off it because whatever you were getting ready for didn't really ever materialize. Maybe it was in 2012 and the end of the world didn't happen in 2012, or maybe it was just the start of the end. Who knows? But you're now giving it a second go. Okay, and it's also like, what's driving your preps? It's the fear of the end of the world. It's the fear of Ragnarok. Okay, you see things echoing through whatever religious text you read and follow and subscribe to, and you're thinking, yeah, this seems like the end to me. This seems like the end times. Okay, so we got the Five of Swords for how this person or people are connected to you. The Five of Swords tends to be an energy of sacrifice. Okay, and there we go. Look, our Three of Wands, which was reversed in the beginning of the read, has now just come out in the upright. Okay, it's an energy of sacrifice, self-sacrifice sometimes, or sacrificing one's self, which then turns into a sabotagement. Yeah, if you allow yourself to die to save others, you've kind of sabotaged your own life, but in turn you were doing it for a good reason and it's helped the others. So it is sacrifice. I'm feeling off our Five of Swords there, but it is also a self what's the right word? A self-sabotagement. As I said up here, I said maybe you're preparing for your own departure from the planet. Okay, that is the sabotagement. You're kind of feeding into the fact that it is going to happen. Okay, as you've been told it's going to. You obviously know it's going to, but you're still fighting it. You're preparing your loved ones and your life for them afterwards. But I'm just drawn to that boy sitting on the barrel, looking downcast and sort of like sad looking. I'm drawn to the fact that all the swords are on the floor. They look like they've been thrown down. The fight has gone. I've given up. Okay, that's kind of like what I'm feeling from there. Not you, them. Maybe you revealing what could happen, what might be happening, what is happening, depending on your particular scenario. Yeah, the people connected to it is like, they've lost the fight, they've lost the will. It's kind of where this was a card of, well, the moment is now, has turned into, I'm just waiting. It's an inevitability. It's bound to happen. And I'm just waiting for it to happen. With the Page of Wands in reverse, the Page of Wands tends to be an energy of jumping on the bandwagon, seeing an opportunity to further oneself and not worrying about the outcome. It's in reverse. It's now worrying about the outcome because you can see the opportunity, or in this particular case, the scenario unfolding before your eyes, and you know where it's going. You don't want to be taking this opportunity. You want to be moving far away from it. Not you, them. Okay, the Seven of Swords the Seven of Wands in reverse. Again, this is standing on your high ground, like being morally correct and things like that. You've heard people say, these are my views and I'm going to die on this hill. That is this energy. But it's in reverse. It's throwing down the swords. I give up. What can I do? I can't do anything to stop this. But in your eyes, no, you can't do anything to stop this. But you can do a lot of things to get yourself ready for afterwards, for when it happens. Okay. I'm sorry to say, I do feel for at least one person watching this, it is bad news. You're getting diagnosed with something. It's the end of your story in this particular book, but the story goes on after your departure from the book, and that's how you're looking at it. Yeah, it can't be the end of the book. It's only chapter 5. Yeah, the main characters in the book, these guys, the Taurus, the younger fire sign, they gotta go on. They gotta go on without you. And you're trying to get them ready for that. There seems to be giving up. I've just got this energy of waiting for the inevitable, okay, with the Three of Wands, which has righted itself within the read, and the Knight of Pentacles. It's the inevitable is going to happen. It's the only knight in the tarot deck which has 100% hit ratio. It might not happen when it was meant to happen. Yeah, if you gave this knight orders to go out and get you dinner, yeah, it might come back 3 days later, but it's coming back. Okay, that's the point. They get the mission done. They just take their sweet merry time about doing it, and that it's an energy of waiting for the inevitable. In this particular case, it's an energy of waiting for the ships to come in, waiting for that. Oh God, there's another death reference there, isn't it? The ferryman to turn up to receive you. Don't forget to pay the ferryman, otherwise you won't get there. And they don't want it. They're giving up. Okay, so maybe you have to sort of work a little bit harder with them. Maybe not now. Might wait for the energies to change a bit, but then work a little bit harder. Okay, we got the Page of Cups crossing this. This is a young love, naive love, immature love. It's kind of like the love you get from children. Okay, and I have been saying these could possibly be your children. And I know that the age gap there is only about 15 years. Maybe you had your children young. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not judgmental. I don't care. Okay, so yeah, it could be that, or it could be nephews or nieces, perhaps. But there's this, like, I don't know, childish type love which is driving them. And just if you've had children, just try to remember when they lost their favorite toy, their favorite teddy, or a pet died, how devastated they were. Okay, and now this is you. They're just like, I don't know what to do. Where's the guidance? I need the guidance. Okay, so let's have a look at the potential outcome. The potential outcome is the Five of Pentacles in reverse, coming in from out of the cold, not being in financial difficulties anymore. These could be some of the things you are telling your people. Okay, and this is the potential outcome for you. And the potential outcome for you is where I said about, like, the whole cancer issue, where people have these high-powered jobs and they jack it in, and then they were given 6 months, but they live for 3 or 4 years with it. It's kind of like that energy. Okay, it's the worries and the stress of finance suddenly disappearing because we're in reverse. Okay, we got the Tower. Everything's going to be life-changing. It's like ripping down the old and rebuilding on the foundation something new. Again, if you're changing your job, if you're in that high-powered job and you're jacking it all in, become a country bumpkin, it's a Tower moment. Okay, if you've just been diagnosed that you've only got 6 months to live, it's a Tower moment. It doesn't necessarily have to be good or bad. It is just a life-changing event which is happening. We got the Queen of Wands echoing the King of Wands up there. It's like a reversal of polarity. Okay, the King of Wands is masculine, the Queen of Wands down at the bottom here, top of the reed, bottom of the reed, reversals. The reversal again, the polarity of going from the masculine to the feminine is like kind of saying, like, the outcome here is your life is totally changing. You're ripping down the old, starting the new, a reversal. Okay, and you are reversing your whole outlook, your whole energies. Where you were that person who would willingly like stake the house on something because you're that sure about it, you're now becoming the person who is not quite so willing to do that, looking more on the feminine side of things, the protection of the family, not the risk of the family. Okay, we have got the World in reverse, which is kind of like an ending for you. I'm sorry to say that again for some of you. For some of you, obviously not all of you is going along the same path here. For those who aren't, and then for those where this isn't just the end of your story in this book, this is the new start is about to begin, but it's not going to begin yet. It's there, it's on the horizon, you can see it, but it's not quite ready to go yet. And then we got the Two of Wands in reverse. The Two of Wands in reverse, it's to me is the whole juggling thing. That Two of Pentacles, okay. It can't give me the Two of Pentacles again because it's giving it to me there, so it's giving me it here as the Two of Wands in reverse. The choices are there, they're obvious choices, but this is in reversal. I'm still trying to juggle everything. I'm still trying to cover every base, so to speak, just in case. Crossing all this is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse is basically talking about the end of work. Okay, but I went down an extreme and said you got 6 months left because you got cancer or something like that. Maybe this is retirement. You're retiring from work and you're maybe getting people who are like dependent on you, used to standing on their own feet, because you're not going to have the money coming in the way it used to. Okay, yeah, okay, you've got a retirement package, but maybe that's just enough to keep you and the spouse going or something like that. But it's the thing what's driving your potential outcome here is the end of the work. It's the end of having to work. It's the end of work itself. Maybe this is all about a job you're leaving. Okay, maybe it's all about like the car you're buying, and buying a new car means you don't have to do the work on the old car to keep the old car running, etc., etc. You see the point. Okay, that is the end of your read. Hopefully it resonates with you. If it does, that is fantastic. Why don't you hit that thumbs up button and let me know that it resonated with you? Obviously, drop anything in the comments, and if you want, you can let me know that you have been diagnosed with something. Heartfelt, sincere apologies, and my thoughts and wishes go to you if you have. If you want, you can have a little look. See, you scrolled around on the comment carousel and buttons and things. There should be something called a hype button. By pressing that, you help promote my channel no end. It would be greatly appreciated. It is designed purely for small channels, okay, like myself, and it will help my channel out no end. If you didn't like this read, that's absolutely fine. You can give it a thumbs down. It's the reversal, okay, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm a big boy. I can take that sort of rejection. But can you let me know in the comments why? I'm also a curious boy. I like to know why. So can you let me know in the comments why you gave me the thumbs down if you gave me the thumbs down? If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, strongly suggest you do so. By subscribing, you'll be adding your own energies to the tarot team pot, which makes reads like this resonate with you on a more personal level in future. just to give you a little helping hand, I'll be shoving you up a link round about there somewhere about subscribing to the channel. Okay, until the next time you're watching one of my videos, just remember, don't be scared, be prepared.